What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm just finished eating and about to eat another meal in a couple hours, take a nap, and go to the gym and get some chest today. So, what you up to out there?
No, I'm chilling. Just doing my little podcast, every now and then. And
Hang on, let me turn this volume up.
So you train early now?
Hell no. Still training at 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I'm getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning now every single day.
Really?
Yeah, and it's been instead of 3 meals before I work out, I've been getting 4 meals before I work out now. So
okay,
it's been nice.
Yeah,
I can see, but it's a game changer. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It's not you at 5 in the morning or nothing, but.
Yeah, but 8 o'clock for you to get your first meal in, that's huge.
It is. It's very big. It is.
Joe, I want to talk to you because I wanted the fans to get to know you a little bit better. So I want the fans to know, who is Joe Mackey. We all see your Instagram, we see your lifts and stuff, but I want to go back a little bit. Joe, tell me where you from? Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in it's Mesquite, Texas, but a lot of people know where Dallas, Texas is. But I'm from Dallas, Texas. A lot of times when I talk, people can say they hear the country in my voice, or I have a country accent. I don't necessarily feel like I do, but some words I know I am country as hell. But yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas, man. Born and raised, been here my whole life.
Oh, so you are a real Texan? That's okay. All right, that makes sense.
I'm a Texan, but I'm not a cowboy.
Okay, so were you in sports before bodybuilding? Did you do anything else?
Yeah, I played football. Football was always my sport. When I was growing up, I played Pee Wee football. I was a little kid. Obviously, I was a kid, so I was little. But I'm saying that because I had an older brother that was 2 years older, and he was always, real strong, athletic, fast. And I was kind of the opposite. But I still, I would say even at a young age, I kind of had that mentality. Even in Pee Wee football, even as a little kid, I enjoyed, being, the aggressor as a little kid. And so I played early from, just in my early age, all the way from Pee Wee, all the way to middle school, all the way to high school, and then a little bit in college. So, but I always played, I was kind of an athlete. I enjoyed basketball, football, track, the whole nine, but football is my sport for sure. And I always like the contact sports, I guess you say.
Yeah. So football is probably what got you into the weightlifting room too, then.
It is, because even with coming up in sports and stuff like that, we were competitive and wanted to be the strongest. And my dad was a big part of it, of course, too. My dad was a big guy, and that kind of. I don't really say that had like a huge impact on me, but my dad was a big guy, strong guy. He's the type of guy that would go to the gym and, kind of be the wow factor and go in there and put some weight on and have everyone watching, him over there repping out 405 or 5 plates on bench. And, then I had an older brother, like I said, that was strong, fast. And I was at the gym and I was opposite. I was weak, I was skinny.
Oh, really? So you weren't strong naturally?
Not as a kid, no. I didn't start to, I wasn't known as strong until like I was probably like a sophomore in high school, to where I would do some weight and then it got a little bit of attention. And then people were like, man, you're kind of strong. And, I kind of knew what the numbers were to hit back then. Cause I think as a sophomore, the go-to number was like the bench, like 185 or something or something like that. So, but I kind of had an advantage too, because my dad, like I said, was a weightlifter, and we had a weight bench. We literally had prison weights at our home. So those weights were 25 pounds felt like 50 pounds. So in the summertime, he'd tell us to get out there and lift weights and put us through a program with training and working out. And he got us hooked on protein. And I've talked about this before, but even with the when I signed with Animal years ago. I remember taking those animal vitamins back then, but I couldn't take them because I didn't know how to swallow pills. And, I would try to put one of those big, horse pills and try to swallow it. And my brother would take his pills, my dad would take his vitamins, and they give me my couple of vitamins to take. And I'm not gonna say I was goofy or whatever the case is, but I would try to swallow the vitamin. I could not swallow it. So, even as a kid, it was kind of, I'm not gonna say it was pushed on me, but, my dad introduced me to the sport, weightlifting, football, of course, was something that I enjoyed. But when it came to eating and, drinking those shakes, I remember, we used to go to Kroger or Tom Tom and buy those big mega whey protein shakes. And he'd have us take one of those every day, after a workout or something like that. But I remember so many times, man, making a shake for me, and I hated him. He'd make a shake for me, and the minute he went to the restroom, I poured that thing down the sink. So I just wasn't a fan of it, man. Protein, lifting, or anything like that. I like football, but when it came to the gym, lifting weights, I'd complain about it hurting so bad, and I'd try to act like I was sick, so I didn't have to go to the gym with my brother, my dad. But yeah, it didn't really grow. The gym didn't really grow until, like I said, until probably about a sophomore in high school.
So at what age did you say, okay, screw all the other sports, I want to be a bodybuilder and I want to compete as a bodybuilder?
It was after college. I went to college with the thoughts of playing football and did a little something up there. But even in college, I kind of got turned away from football just because I kind of lost interest in it. And I remember having a workout partner up there in college, and we spent just about every day in the gym. And he was a bigger guy, so when I went to college, I was 180 something, 185, and he was probably about 210, 215. And I would look at him and just think like he had a good build, he was strong, bench more than I was, squatted more than I was, and even as a kid, I was super competitive. So I really didn't like to be outdone too much, whatever the case is. So, we started working out, and even in college, I remember, not having a lot of money, and even school was not my forte. I didn't like it. I was supposed to go to class Monday through Friday. I probably went to class on Tuesday and didn't even finish a class. And but I would I'd go to the gym, I'd work out, and then I ended up getting a job. So I actually ended up getting a job at GNC because I thought about, what else a better place can I work at to where I could actually get some protein and some creatine and the newest stuff. And I even remember back then, that's when NO2 came out, the nitrous oxide stuff. And I remember taking that stuff, and that stuff was pretty good back then. So I remember taking that and just loading up on creatine, but my weight would jump up just week after week after week, eating a lot of food. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of money, but I would go to school, I'd buy bread, deli meat, TV dinners, burritos.
The good old TV
noodles,
dinners.
Anything that was cheap.
Yeah.
I would buy it. I just load up on it. But every single time I had a meal, I'd have a shake behind it because I think about, my dad always told me as a kid, protein. So that's even another thing. I used to buy like hot dogs, but I would make sure I get like the cans of chili because they had like a shitload of protein in it. So I would always make sure I got something that had a good amount of protein. But even after every meal, I was still down a protein shake behind it. And before I went to bed, I still tell those people all the time that they come to me and they're like, hey man, I'm like, how can I gain weight? And I'm like, man, every time you go to bed, I remember doing this in college, I'd have a meal, and after the meal, I'd drink a protein shake behind it, but I put like 3 scoops of protein in there, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, a banana, and I put milk in there, and I just drink it, I down it. But every time I went to bed, it felt like I had to throw up every single time I laid down. And I just remember like weighing myself every other day, and my weight would go up like 3 or 4 pounds like every other day. So finally, like I said, in college, I went from 180 to 240 naturally. So, and
that was just with protein powders and workouts and food.
That was like lifting heavy, eating a lot of food, because even at that point, I was like, man, if I could just get over 200 pounds, I'll be happy. Then I got over 200 pounds, and then I wanted more. And I was like, if I get over 215, I'll be happy. Now I got over 215, and the weight just kept going up. And, like I said, I remember talking to my workout partner, and it worked. I mean, he kept telling me, like, hey, man, just keep eating. Like, if you're lifting heavy, you're not going to get too fat. And, I didn't get fat, surprisingly, which is good. But I bulked up, I guess you could say. And, I remember just coming back home and people seeing me whenever I got back, home from college, from being in college for about 8 months, whatever the case is, and everybody's wild whenever, of course, when they saw me. So at that point, when I got into what really made me get into bodybuilding was when I came off of college, and I had went from 180 to 240, and went to the gym and started talking to these guys at the gym, and they were just like, "Hey, like, you need to compete, man. Like, what are you doing? You taking this, taking that?" I was like, "Nah, man, I'm all natural. Never took anything." They're like, "You could do something in the bodybuilding world."
So you competed naturally in the beginning? You went on stage naturally?
No, I didn't. It was at that point where I met those guys, and we started talking about bodybuilding. I didn't know what bodybuilding was at the time, because I was back home. I was living with my parents, and they turned me on to bodybuilding. And I didn't know anything about bodybuilding, so I actually went to a competition with one of the guys that told me about it. And at that point, that's kind of when I realized that I wanted to do bodybuilding. But I ended up doing a competition. It was actually the Lone Stars. It's Prince Harrison show, and I did that show. But prior to that, I remember basically going from natural to getting on something, and that's when I blew up. I went from
How much did you gain? How much did you gain? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I mean, overall, I don't know the period of time that it took me to get there, but overall, I remember cutting back down, and I was like 308 pounds.
From 240.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So.
And you probably didn't even use a lot of stuff back then.
Nah, I used one bottle of sauce and one bottle of Anadrol, and that's all I stayed on, and that's it. So yeah, it's like, I did that, and I ate. I just ate a lot, and once again, I enjoyed lifting heavy. So everything, as a kid, the thing you want to do is you want to see how strong you are. So especially when you're, adding some subs, to the regimen or whatever the case is. So, I would squat heavy, I bench heavy. Even back then, I would deadlift heavy. And I just enjoyed just seeing what my strength could do, and I remember some people telling me about powerlifting, and at that point, powerlifting really didn't, just do anything for me or nothing like that, because I wanted to be, when I thought of powerlifting, I thought about, just, bigger, heavier guys or whatever the case is. So I didn't want to do powerlifting, but I still wanted to bodybuild. I just wanted to be strong and shit, and bodybuild. But I kept doing that, of course, and kept training and stuff. And now I do say this: when I got up to 300-something pounds, I still went on stage at, 215 pounds. So I dropped.
So you went up to 300, then you dieted down all the way to 315 at 215.
Yeah, that was the worst prep that I ever did. It was,
who did you do it on your own, or did you have a coach back then?
No, there was actually my workout partner back then.
Okay.
So, and it was it's crazy too, because the stuff we learned back then when we're young in regards to don't season your food. Well, I know we talked about that when I was at your place as far as that goes, but I'm talking about like never using any seasoning, like the whole 20 weeks. Never using any sauces, no sugar-free this, no sugar-free that, no ketchup, no condiments.
So plain, all the way plain for the whole time.
Yeah, I did that and that's why I was so damn miserable, because it's just like, and back then I was taught like, hey, don't eat for flavor. Like your food's not supposed to taste good. It's supposed to be nasty. And I was like,
I remember those times too, though.
Yeah, and I listened, man, and I didn't necessarily cheat or anything like that, but I got in shape, and but it was literally like the worst prep ever. I was miserable. I was unhappy, and like I said, I was living at home with my parents. And my mom was complaining about me cooking chicken and fish and stinking up her kitchen all the time, and it was just being living with my parents, of course, wasn't the best in regards to doing a prep. I remember them finding a bottle of water because I had did some ACG. I came off a little bit, did some ACG.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on Trifecta.
and my mom had found this bottle of the water, what do you call it, bacteriostatic water, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, like that's just a B12 shot, and, it's nothing or whatever." And she gave it to my dad, and my dad did some research, and he came back and asked, "Hey, are you doing such and such?" I was like, "Nah, Dad, I'm not doing nothing. Like, I'm all natural." So I'm over here 280 something pounds.
Your dad didn't know by just looking at you?
No, I mean, I'll put up. My parents still ask me to this day, "Are you taking anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm not taking nothing." So let's tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was
So you got it.
I did that show. I placed third. After that, I wanted nothing to do with bodybuilding. I went back to just lifting weights. And
Why? Because you didn't win?
Nah, it was just horrible. It was miserable.
Oh, the diet got to you.
Yeah, it was the worst time of my life. Like, it was just like, I mean, at that point, it was the worst time of my life. But it was just, I just couldn't understand like why someone would want to eat such nasty food and week after week after week, and just to step on stage. I didn't understand it not one bit, and I didn't like the fact that put it on trunks on stage either. So yeah, I didn't like that. so you stopped competing and just Yeah, I stopped competing and
turned away to powerlifting.
Yeah, lifting weights and training and what you said.
So you just think about powerlifting. Did you ever do a powerlifting meet, like an official?
I've never done any kind of powerlifting show at all.
Why not though?
I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I mean, even recently, like even this weight that I'm doing recently, I've been asked like, "Oh, are you doing powerlifting?" I'm like, no.
So now let me ask you this though. But so for the weight that you have right now, so let's say, well, how much are you right now? 280?
285, 286.
Okay, so for 285, the pounds that you lift, the deadlifts and the stuff, wouldn't that be competitive for your weight class?
I think so. I mean, I don't bench anymore. I used to bench back in the day. I tore my tendon from benching back in the day. I was benching 500 pounds, and I wanted to see how many times I could rep it out. I was going to try to rep it out for like 8 to 10 reps, and I remember going down on the second rep, and it tore. The tendon came off the bone. So that was years ago. So I don't do any barbell bench anymore. I still go like heavy dumbbells, but when it comes to squats, I squat heavy. And I deadlift. So even when it comes to a powerlifting show, I think you can choose what lifts you want to do. But would it be competitive? I mean, I think so. I'm pretty sure it would. I just never, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question as far as like why I haven't done a powerlifting meet. And another reason, obviously, is because, when I deadlift, I use straps. Using a lot of powerlifting meets, you got to go barehanded, or you have to go, when it comes to deadlift, you have to go over and under. Obviously doing over and under.
Yeah, but I see people use straps in powerlifting meets.
I think, but that's like, I think it's powerlifting meets, because I really haven't done a lot of research.
Or maybe not powerlifting, maybe, but guys like at the Arnold, these guys use straps. Strongman, they use straps.
Yeah, strongman. I wouldn't mind. I would actually like to do a strongman for sure. So I'd definitely be open for that.
Okay, so maybe that's what I was thinking, because they use straps. So, because what's your max right now? 900 pounds?
I did 885, 2 weeks ago? And then 900, we're supposed to do that in like 2 weeks.
You're going to do 900 in 2 weeks?
Yep.
Okay, so you're about, how far away? How many, about what? About 100 pounds away from the world record?
I mean, no, maybe. I think what's his name? Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall had
He's the one that holds the record with it.
No, not anymore. He had the record with 500 kilos, and then Bjornson, he did 501 kilos, which is, I'm going to tell you exactly, 501 times 2.2 is exactly 1,102.2 pounds.
A lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight, huh? But he was like 400 pounds, 450 pounds when he did it.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight, and and a lot of powerlifters understand this, and because even I remember when I did 800, and I used to struggle with 800 back, probably about a year ago, whatever the case is. Now I can do 830, 840, and it's not really that heavy. But when you're talking about 900 pounds, and then 1,000 pounds, it's like 20, 30 pounds. It's like 20, 30 pound increase in weight can feel like 150 pounds.
So it's a lot, huh?
Yeah. So it's just like, it's not like doing leg press or, doing some hundreds 1 week and then coming back and trying to do the 150s, in 2 weeks. Like it's that increase in weight like that, when you're talking about increase in weight of 100 pounds and stuff like that takes like months, if not probably a year.
So when you do the 900 pounds,
yep.
How do you work yourself up to the 900 pounds?
I take big jumps, because that's what me and I work with Josh Bryant. He's Jailhouse Strong, so he's my strength training coach, my powerlifting coach. But he's always advised me to like take smaller increments, but I'll take like big jumps. I'll go from 135, and you should go from 135 to two like a plate each time. So 135 to 225, but I'll go from 135 to 315 to 505. And then to 675, and then 7. So I'll take big jumps. So I want to get to the weight.
Yeah, you don't want to waste too much energy.
I don't want to waste too much energy. Exactly. Even when you and I train, it's like, hey, you want to do the hundreds or 150? It's like, man, fuck it, let's go to 150. It's like we get that 100. So like I want to get right to a weight to where it's like, because it's like when I do deadlift, if I do 765 and then I do 850 and then 900. I actually have to, get a little aggressive for 850, and I don't want to use that energy. So I'd rather use it for the 900. Right. So I just choose to store that energy, or whatever the case is, take that big jump. Because even when I did 885, I went from 765 right to 885, and like that's a big jump. Like really not supposed to do that, but when I did 885, like I feel like I did 885 even easier than I did 765. So, yeah. Let's
go back to bodybuilding for a little bit.
Okay.
Because we kind of sidetracked, because that's very interesting. I like to see that crazy stuff. So when did you turn pro?
2000. I want to say 2012, I believe.
What show was it?
It was Nationals.
Nationals. So you won the Nationals heavyweights, or do you want the overall?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
No. I won Nationals. I actually won second place. Yeah, actually, Dorian beat me. And that's when the top 2 went pro at that show.
Dorian who?
Is it Dorian Haywood?
Oh, this is so funny, man. This is really funny because he's coming here Friday.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's coming here to train. He from Denver?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he's in Denver right now. So
yeah, he's coming this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Oh, he's coming down there to train with you?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're going to kill him.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's funny that you bring up his name. So he won the overall, or he won the class. Okay, so they gave out pro cards for second place back then?
Yep.
Oh, that's hey, why not,
Don't
right?
You say nothing, dude.
No.
Don't you say nothing.
I'm not going to say anything, man. I'm not. Listen, right. There's people that turn pro at shows where they win shows where when you look at the winners, they wouldn't even place top 10 at any nationals.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
So no, I would never say anything because I see what you look like. So it doesn't matter how you got there. It's what you're doing while you're here.
Right.
So now, how do you did a few pro shows,
Yep.
And you did okay, but I think you're not satisfied. So I know you.
And it's always, I would say it's always something, in regards to I kind of talked about this, previously as far as it goes. I would say just life, outside of bodybuilding as far as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to you about this as well too. It's like, going into a show, and the best showing I ever had was like when I really had tunnel vision, like every single day until the day of the show. And that's actually whenever that was my first show coming back, and that's when I was an amateur when I won to Ronnie Coleman. Because I dealt with a major loss, at that point. So prepping for that show was just lights out in regards to distractions or anything that got in the way. Nothing else bothered me, and nothing else was relevant besides the show. And and I'll say it still to this day, that was the best mental approach I had going into a show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the best, probably the best shape I had in regards to going into a show, because it was just like, I was just, everything else was, I was just blind to it.
You were locked in.
Oh yeah, 100%. And now it's like, years later, of course, whether it's, something personal or business or, just a lot of things going on in regards to, prepping for a show. And like I said, I'm not the person that hate, making excuses or anything like that. I don't make excuses. I'll take accountability at any time of the day. But, it's like, prior to a lot of past pro shows, some things, I've allowed some things to get in the way. And it's, I'll just say straight up, and as well too, that it's very important, and it can have a huge impact. I don't care how mentally strong you are or whatever the case is. Like when stuff happens and you really let it affect you, it messes a lot of things up with your training, cardio, your look, just your mindset or whatever the case is. And
that is so true.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of those things to where, obviously, I have plans to compete in this year, of course. And I've said it before in regards, focus, tunnel vision, this and this. But, like I said before, like I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to do it,
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to allow or this and this.
So how do you focus on shows now? How do you cut all that other shit out?
Man, eliminate bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as far as like, all these different sayings and stuff like this, to where, just whether it's business or personal or, certain people in your life or whatever the case is. And it's just like, the right people, in your life are like going to be there, just point blank period, whatever the case is. And it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be so hard. It shouldn't be a distraction. It shouldn't be this or that. It's just like a given or whatever the case is, the way I feel, without, saying too much or whatever. But, how do I plan on doing it? It's just like, just my circle of people is very, small, I guess you'd say. And that's a good thing, I guess, too, as well, because it's just like, when I go into this, going to this next competition, it's, it's just a clear mind, and it's like, I don't have any doubts. I don't have any, anxiety or anything like that, waking up, and just getting shit done when it comes to going to do my cardio, getting up earlier now, of course, getting my cardio done, getting my meals in sooner. And it's a good feeling, man, to have complete structure. And that's already what's happening at this point right now. And it's making a big difference too. So it's good. So that's what I said. I won't say too much, but it's like definitely already making a huge impact with a lot of things that are going right now.
What's the show you're getting ready for right now?
Texas Pro.
That is in August?
August. Yep.
So you're not going to get on stage before August?
No plan. Just plan on. Yeah, I plan on growing is just going to happen, obviously, with the way I'm training, of course, eating, I'm not doing any cheats or anything like that. So basically just, stand on a plan, stand on a structure, continue to train, of course, and stuff like that. And, obviously I'm healthy, just had blood work done as well too. Everything looks good. So at this point, yeah, it's just, because with the things with where I am now, even the weight or the size that I'm holding and stuff like that, and then, knowing that to really, tap into, things that I specifically work on, obviously, stage presence, conditioning, the whole nine as far as that goes, then it's just like just having enough time on a schedule to where it's just, not second guessing anything or not uneasy about, the what is, or if this is going to come in or if that's there, like just fine tuning things like way ahead of time and just making sure it's there to where it's just like a no brainer. So
you're not worried about injuring yourself the way you train. I mean, you still train like a power lifter in certain exercises. You're not worried at all?
Nah, because it's like
you just don't give a shit.
Nah, that's not, and it's almost like this. It's like people want to know Joe, and it's like Joe is this person as far as it goes, and it's like, hey, Joe, we're doing chest press. We're gonna go 20 reps. You want to do the 85s or you want to do the 160s? And I'm like, man, fuck it, let's do the 160s. So, and it's like, because it's just like everybody's different in their own world as far as it goes. And it's like, no doubt about it, it's just been like, even as a young, when I was in my teens or whatever the case is, like people know Joe. It's like, Joe's a little crazy as far as it goes. All right,
hold on, now stop. Now, what would you, because I know you train people too.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm gonna give you an example. Now you have a client who wants to compete. It's a very important show for him, whatever show it is.
Yep.
And you tell him what to do. You basically tell him to diet and everything. And now he's going in there and trying to fucking do PRs every other day. What would you tell him? What would you tell that guy?
I mean, because everyone's
different. No. Tell the truth. As his coach, what would you tell him?
I would just say it depends, because I would have to say, because
you'd be like, be careful.
Size people up, and it's just like, let's say, I talk about my nephew all the time as far as it goes. Let's just say if my nephew was like, hey, Uncle Joe, I want to do this, this, and this, and I want to, do whatever. And I would say, nah, nephew, like, it's not for you, because we're two different people. So, and if I'm working with someone to where it's just like, they're just straight freak or something like that, then at the end of the day, he's going to do what he wants to do. So I can just say,
no,
hey,
I get that. And there's a difference between an off season and pre-contest. But when it comes to pre-contest, and when you get to that final, let's say 6 weeks, there's no gaining weight, there's no gaining muscle no more. Right. So that's why I would tell people, like, listen, back off. Yep. Because this is where your body is, very vulnerable.
Sure.
You don't want to hurt yourself 3 weeks out from a show because of a lift that wasn't necessary. That's what I try to say.
I agree, for sure.
You're actually pretty lean for being so far out.
Yeah, I'm keeping the food real clean, and
you diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
And the meals are on point, so it's waist maintaining. Not doing any cheap right now. Still doing cardio 5 days a week.
You're still working with Chet, right?
Yes.
How's that going for you?
It's good. And that's another thing. The food is still high. So with the food still being high, it's I feel like it has a good impact with. And like I said, I'm not trying to put on more size or put on more tissue. It's coming with the nature. Like I was just even looking at a video that I posted the other day, and I looked at it myself, and I was just like, God damn, man, like. Because it just comes with, I feel like it comes with territory of just like lifting. So, and it's kind of like when I train with you, it's like 1 week I go heavy, and the next week I back off. Mm-hmm. And then 1 week I go heavy, then the next week I back off. So it's just like, I enjoy, I'm talking about even if we're doing 15 to 20 reps, I'd rather do 15 to 20 reps with 150-pound rolls than 80 pounds.
Gotcha.
As far as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you're that strong that you can do that. And if you can do 15 reps with a weight, then this is nothing where I would say back off, because what I meant to say earlier is back off from things like single double reps, like super heavy, like But if you can do 15 reps, that's just the weight that you're using.
Yeah. And because the 900 pounds, I talked about 3C2, but 900 pounds, it's like, that's my stopping point. And it's like, even when I post these videos, it's like, a lot of people are like, why are you doing that? And it's just like, I've said it before, sometimes I just want to respond with like smart as comment because I fucking want to, grown ass man, I'm gonna do it. But if it's like a really a sincere question, like, hey, why are you doing that? And it's just like, I just wanted to hit a PR goal when I started this whole deadlift thing with my coach. I wanted to hit a PR goal of 900 pounds. And, why? It's just because, I don't know. It's just like.
Yeah, because you can. Because you can. That's why.
Exactly.
But what if you lifted 900 and it kind of feels like, damn, I think I could have lifted more than that. And then you're going to up.
I feel like it is.
Then you're going to up your goal.
Yeah, no, I don't know, because it's time to now start prep. So it's like, honestly, it's like I feel like I could load 900 pounds on the bar tomorrow and just get it out the way. Like, I'm confident with it as far as, my strength and how the weight feels right now. And, but once I do 900, it's like, that's it. And, even back to like, because it's like, I feel like people are different as far as it goes. It's like, I got a buddy, I don't know, just think about, I can go fishing with a good friend of mine. We could be on the lake in his boat, and he can look in the water and say, oh, look, man, it's a shark. And like, I'm looking at that shark and be like, man, fuck that, it's a fucking shark. And he's gonna look at the shark and be like, oh man, what a shark. I'm gonna jump in the water and swim with it. Because he's just that crazy dude. And that's kind of how it is when it comes to, me and lifting. It's like, I enjoy to do, just some crazy shit sometimes. It's just like, I've always been like an adrenaline junkie, I guess you could say. I've always like, we talk about with cars and stuff, and I'll get in the car and a car can have 600 horsepower, but I want
you got that need for speed.
I got need for speed. I got need for power. I'm just down for the moment. There's certain things that I would not do. Obviously, when it comes to water, I don't like deep water. I'm not going to jump out of a plane, and I'm not going to go bungee jump, or nothing like that.
None of that.
Something. So
none of that crazy shit.
Yeah, but I am adrenaline junkie when it comes to something for sure. Lifting, cars, doing some crazy shit at some crazy, at times something like that. That's me.
I saw you got a new car not too long ago.
I did, yeah.
What is it? Is it the
SX3 AMG?
Oh, it's a 63.
Yep.
What year was it?
20.
20. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I've been waiting on that car. I kind of already have an idea like of a car that I want before I even get it, and I know what I'm gonna do to it. Because I remember looking at S63s making 800, 900 horsepower, and it's like that's what I want this car to make. So
yeah, and then you're gonna get on that. Then you're gonna get on the damn Dallas freeways, and you tear that thing apart. And you're not worried. How many times did you get arrested for speeding?
None.
That's crazy.
None.
And what's the fastest you go on the freeway? At certain times.
Actually, when I had the Corvette, that Corvette made like 1,300 horsepower, and that car was like a dead trout. Just I'm just like by the grace of God, while I'm alive, I had so many close calls in that car. But I remember hitting over like 190, like 195 in that car, and it just used to get up there so quick. So, you got a car that makes that type of power, and it's very sketchy because even those vets with the C6Zs, they're all over the place, so it's hard to get traction. But I remember I remember losing traction in that car at about 170 miles per hour, switching gears, and that's when I really thought I was about to wreck, and I thought that was it. But that's just another thing that happened. And I was like, oh man, fuck that. Like, I'm done with driving fast like that. And then next weekend I'm out there doing it again. So, it's just, I don't know.
I know. I know how that. I know the feeling. Because I was born and raised in Germany. On the Autobahn, there was no speed limit, so you can go as fast as a car can go. And there were rules in Germany. There were rules. You have no business in the left lane unless you're doing at least 130.
Exactly.
And when somebody's coming from behind you and I flash the lights, that tells you I got to get out the way because he's speeding.
Exactly.
And here
that's a goal of mine, man. I actually want to go to the Autobahn. So, that's something I still want to do, and I still want to take a car out there or have a car shipped out there or something like that. But that's definitely something I want to do in the future too.
It's not the same anymore. Now the Autobahn, the Autobahn now, I would say probably 70% of the Autobahn is now speed limit. There's certain There's still certain strips where you can just go, where it's just no speed limit, but it's not what it used to be. It's not like Autobahn, no speed limit. Now a lot of areas have speed limits at 120 kilometers, which is about maybe I don't know 70 miles or whatever that is.
What the hell?
But but there's still parts where you can go. So, but do you take your car sometimes on the racetrack, or you just do the freeways?
No, I just do it, and that's another thing. Because even as a kid, I used to talk about the stuff as a kid about stuff I always wanted to do, and it's funny because I talk to my nephew about this. Because all the stuff that I said I wanted to do as a kid, like I've done it. Because it's like I always even said as a kid that I just wanted a badass car, and I didn't ever want to take it to the track. I just want to pull up to the restaurant and valet it with turning heads with it, camming out and this and all of that. So it's just like I never had a desire to build a track car, but I just always wanted to be a car on the street that would just demolish a lot of just everything, I guess you could say. I'm
surprised you never got tickets or got arrested for doing criminal fucking speeding. Because I remember when I was there, you was driving normal, and I think your average was like 100.
That's right. Well, you're riding with me.
Yeah. You drive, and I didn't say nothing because I figured, if he's just doing 100, he's still much better than he probably is if he would be by himself. So, and I'm used to speed. I'm really used to speed. I remember when Dexter Jackson came out to the FIBO years ago, and I picked him up from the airport, I think, and I had a car, and I'm on the Autobahn, and I'm speeding, and he's like scared. He's like, slow that shit down, slow it down, scared, because they're not used to it.
Yeah, right.
They're not used to it.
Yeah, because I remember when you were here, it's like, man, I was trying to be respectful. I used my turn signals. I thought it was chill. Oh yeah, I was trying to be like very reserved when you were in the back there. So
I thought so because I thought so. It'd probably go nuts if I wasn't in the car.
But I got pulled over one time. That's when I had that Cadillac CTSV, and that car made like a little bit over 1,000 horsepower. But I was driving down the freeway, and my nephew was with me. We were actually going out to a car event. It was probably like 12 o'clock at night, and it was open freeway, and I just tested the car out late into it. And I saw these headlights come out pretty quick just behind me, and I didn't think it was a cop or nothing like that because it was just regular headlights. And I thought it was somebody that was, wanting to play around or something. And this car waited until it got right up on my ass, and then it flipped the switch on me. It was the cops. So I pulled over, and he said he clocked me at like 148, and asked for my license, my insurance, and he went back to the car, and I looked at my nephew, and I was like, hey,
you going to jail? I'm going to jail.
Here's my license, here's my debit card, here's my pen, here's who you call, to handle this. And cop came back, and he was cool, man. He was just like, nice car, like, what do you have done to it, this and this. I started talking about the car, and I had a feeling they wasn't going to take me to jail, and he did it, but he gave me a ticket for going 148 miles per hour. So, and it was reckless driving, but I'm still surprised, still to this day, that I didn't go to jail that night because I could have took me to jail.
So is that on your record now?
I paid a ticket, and I had to do. I didn't have to do defense. I did. What do you call it? Whenever you have to
defensive driving school.
No, I deferred. I got an option to do deferred, so I got a lawyer and went to court for it, and we got a choice to do deferred adjudication, and then that was clear because I didn't get any tickets after that, and so no, it's actually gone now. So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
That's good.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, it's just cars. Just it has always been my thing ever since a kid. And working out. Once again, it's always been my thing. Lifting heavies, always been my thing. And I think everyone, just like really has that thing that they just enjoy doing. And, the stuff that, people see now is just like something I've always enjoyed doing. And, and it's like, and it's cool. Cause it's like, I want people to know who Joe is. And it's like, like people see me in the gym, and it's like, I'm intense, and, I'm straight faced and this, but
you're
outside of the gym,
exactly. I was just about to say you're a super cool guy, And
Yeah.
you also take a lot of pride, which is from what I know. You also take a lot of pride in helping others to achieve
Absolutely.
their goal. So that's why I want to give you an opportunity right now to let the people know, the ones who are interested in working with you, how they can reach you, where they can reach you, and what it is exactly that you do. Do you train people online, or you do physically train them in the gym?
Yeah, so I do both. Actually, I'm not really taking on any people right now for a one-on-one, but I do have an online business. So the online business, the website is noaveragejoetraining.com. So that's NOABERAGE training, TRAINING.com, noaveragejoetraining.com. And you said it too, like, people look at me and it's just like, I go to the store and it's like, I like when people, come up to me, because it's like, I can understand, like, I walk in the store and I'm a big guy, I probably maybe look intimidating, or probably have a dry look on my face, because obviously I don't just walk around with a smile on my face, that's just funny, but, I'm just Joe. But when it's obvious and I can see someone, talking, or I could tell, just like, where they're saying, oh my gosh, like, look at this big guy, whatever. Like, I'll go up to him and shake their hand. Hey, what's your name? Talk. And I can have a conversation with a 15-year-old, or I can have a conversation with a 90-year-old. And I'll just sit there and talk to them. And honestly, I enjoy talking to young youth, because I was that kid at one point that would look up to, stronger, guys, or whatever the case is. And, I always want to set a good example in regards to where, obviously sometimes as, bodybuilders, we kind of get just some negative feedback in regards to how bodybuilders are.
Right.
It's like,
right.
I like for people to see, like, even because I just moved out here to a new city. So I went to the store the other night, and this cashier came up to me. He started asking me about competing and bodybuilding. He's like, hey, you're Joe. And I was like, yeah, I'm Joe. And we took a picture, and it was funny. I took a picture with him. Then I had two other customers in the store that wanted to take pictures. But, so when people talk about Joe, and Joe out here in the community, it's like, oh yeah, that big black guy, and he's cool, he's funny. Go up and talk to him, go up and introduce yourself to him. And I'm gonna talk to you. But even on the professional level with training, another thing, yes, I'm a pro bodybuilder. I love heavy weights, I'm intense, but I work with everyone. I work with people who are just trying to get in better shape, people who have health conditions, diabetes or overweight, or people who just want a better lifestyle, or people just who need the knowledge of nutrition and training. So, it's like, I do work with bodybuilders, both men and women, but I enjoy working with anyone who wants help when it comes to a goal that they're trying to pursue. Then I enjoy helping them, because there's obviously, there's so much stuff out there when it comes to nutrition and training and how to do this, how to do that.
Exactly.
Definitely have over 15 years under my belt when it comes to
and I can vouch.
Training. Obviously work with some great coaches, yourself and a lot of people in the past and stuff like that when it comes to, hands-on training and stuff like that, and nutrition. So there's a lot of knowledge up here to give out to the person who's actually willing to listen, learn, and apply it, for sure. So definitely enjoy working with people and, like you said, giving back. And
I can absolutely vouch for that. He's a humble teddy bear when it comes down to it. Even though he listens to the most craziest music you can imagine. I don't even know that he gives me names. I've never even heard of the bands that he listened to, and that's just the thing you listen to when you train, though, right? That's
all I want to listen to. I mean, when I was out there training with you, so I would say when I'm training hardcore, I got to listen to some crazy music. If it's a quote unquote.
Tell me what crazy music is, because I can't remember what you said.
Crazy music is just anything that's. I hate to say it's only one word to use, violent. So.
It sure sounds violent, but it's like the music almost is like, it's kind of the kind of music that makes you want to just run against the wall and bang your head against the wall the whole time.
Yeah, but it can go, because it's like, back in the day there was, so I'm 38, just turned 38, March 19th. So there was artists back there that were like, crunk music, I guess you could say, because even back then, I used to listen to rock music, but I used to listen to like crunk rap music. So it's just like it can go either way. It can be some Disturbed or Kill Switch Engage on rock music, or it can be rap music. It can be Lil Jon Eastside Boys, or it can be Pastor Troy.
Never heard of it. Never even heard of it. So do you listen to that stuff just while you train, or you just when you drive in the car you listen to the same music?
Nah, I don't listen when I'm driving the car. If I listen to that when I'm driving the car, like someone's gonna get pushed off the freeway. So actually, you know what? When I leave the gym, I turn on, and that's just another thing. Like I said, knowing Joe, when I leave the gym, I turn on jazz music.
Just to calm you back down and get you back to normal.
Yeah, and it's like, so there's been times, especially after a real good workout or hitting a PR or just having, or just the pre-workout still being in my system or something like that. I'll get in the car and I'll still have that music on, and I'll hit the street and I'll like, nah, it's not a good idea. So, I like to bring me down from the pre-workout and the adrenaline of a good workout and stuff like that. Like I'll put on some, I'll go to Pandora, put on, some called chill music or some jazz music.
Okay.
Or, or even gospel music, So it's just like, it's just, it's crazy and it's funny too, because it's like my nephew, makes fun of me all the time because, he sees everything. He sees like, crazy Uncle Joe. He sees, Happy. He sees, we get up to go to church on Sundays. And it's like, listen to, gospel music. I'm over here preaching the word to him and this and this. And I'm a faithful person. Obviously, I'm a, true believer in regards to, obviously, I've lived life, 38 years. I've had, many things take place. And, so I definitely put a lot of my beliefs in faith, of course, and stuff like that. So true believer. But, it's just one of those things to where, I'm so dimensional when it comes to a lot of different things. And it's like, even when it comes to training, obviously, being able to turn it on and turn it off. And that's even, like I said, when it comes to heavy training, it's like, it's such a mental game when it comes to lifting and even a lot of things in life, but I'll just keep it with lifting because, when I'm lifting a weight that I understand that majority of people will call heavy, it's not necessarily heavy to me because it's like, it's just, it's kind of like when I did,
it's Joe average. It's average Joe.
Yeah, it's just like, and I'm not over here, and it's like sometimes it can come off as like arrogant or just this, but it's like I'm not ever wanting to be that person. It's just like when a certain weight, when I put a certain weight on the bar and I'm repping out or I'm doing it, whatever the case is, it's at that point it's just like I think about it all the time. If a weight is heavy, and let's say I do 1 or 2 reps, and I'm just like, I almost talk to the weight. So it's almost like, let's say I could do 1 or 2 reps with 180-pound dumbbells. And I'll think, man, those 1 or 2 reps, okay, like that was kind of hard. But I'll think of it as like the weight talking shit to me or something. And that's the way that I make those other 8 reps look easier. Because it's like, I see it as a challenge, So if I feel like a weight is really trying to kick my ass, then it's like, I'm not trying to get my ass kicked by the weight. So it's just like, so that's really what it comes down to. And it's literally like that with any type of quote unquote heavyweight that I do, whether it is hard or whether it isn't hard. But I've always heard that for a long time. Like, man, how do you make your heavyweight look easier than a lighter weight?
Right.
And that's just always has been.
Well, you make it look easy. I've seen it with my own eyes. So, but Joe, before I let you go, I can't let you go without giving you a chance to give a shout out to some of your sponsors and maybe discount codes that you have.
Absolutely. So definitely want to give a shout out to Redcon. You guys go to Redcon.1. You can use Joe M20 and get a percentage. You get a discount off that whenever you want online. Also want to give a shout out to Gas as well too, and guys over there at Destination. Big shout out to Michael. All those guys, definitely family over there, so definitely taking care of me as far as that goes. Give a shout out to Versa Grips as well too. Obviously, when it comes to pulling this heavy ass weight, I wouldn't be able to do it without those grips. And that's it for the most part. Guys can obviously find me on IG. I'm sure you want to share it as well, Dennis. But it's J Mackey IFBB Pro. J Mackey IFBB Pro. J Mackey IFBB _Pro. I might even said that wrong, but make sure to share it, of course.
We'll find the right Instagram account.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
But
I appreciate it.
overall, it's been and like I said, I appreciate you bringing me onto the show because it's even like I said, even doing this, even this powerlifting stuff, it's been cool because it's even opened up so many different open doors in regards to the powerlifting side. Obviously, Steve Cardillo reached out to me, and so definitely want to give a shout out to Cardillo Belts. They made me a custom belt, and definitely plan on doing a lot of things with them going forward into the bodybuilder powerlifting scene. CT Fletcher, another guy that reached out to me, so definitely supposed to be linking up with him sometime in May and doing some stuff, doing a big collaboration with him. And I know everyone's been wanting to, see me and Larry Wills possibly again, so that's definitely going to be taking place sometime this year as well too. So, it's cool. I would just say it's cool being a hybrid. Just
there you
in
go.
regards to being a powerlifter and bodybuilder, and that's a term that we're using now is power building. And for the ones that keep asking why, why, Joe, aren't you worried about hurting yourself or bodybuilding? What about your bodybuilding career? And it's like, I'm stopping at 900, guys. I promise you.
All right.
And
all right. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if you really stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. If you can go, you can go. I'm just saying, just don't hurt yourself. You know what I mean? You got a show coming up in August, so be smart. And you got a good coach. So, and I know you have a good work ethic. So don't let sometimes the ego get into the way. That's important. All right, brother.
I agree.
I appreciate you taking the time, my man. Thank you for coming on, and I would like to bring you back probably just before the show. Possibly even bring you here for as an in-studio guest to talk to you just before the show to see how everything's going with you. Okay?
Absolutely. So
all
hang
right.
on, Dennis. You got to give me a big cheese, and I'm gonna do a screenshot here. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
On 3, 1, 2. Hang on.
How many? How many 3? You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Hang on. Let me make sure it looks good. Hang on. All right. Yeah, I got it.
All right, brother. All right, man. You take care of yourself. Be safe, and God bless you. Okay.
All right, you too, brother.
All right, my
I'll
man.
talk to you soon. I'll get
For
back.
sure.
I need to get back down there to Phoenix actually too.
Call me anytime. Anytime.
I sure will.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right, brother. Talk to
Bye.
you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay.